I love the Suicide Squad. I think the concept of a group of nobody villains being treated as expendable soldiers is just a very interesting concept. And I love the movie. Not that one. That one. Anyways, so this got me thinking, what if there was a Suicide Squad cartoon? Now, I don't have the resources to make a cartoon, but I can write. So yes, this is my Suicide Squad fan fiction. Enjoy. Episode 1, Task Force X. The episode starts with Killer Croc, Deadshot, Harley, and Joker getting imprisoned by Batman. Waller pulls some strings to get Harley into Belle Reve along with Deadshot. Once in the prison, they meet Waller, who offers them the opportunity to join Task Force X, a team meant to take on government missions. In exchange, time will be taken off their sentence. And they'll get benefits in prison, such as better food and protection. They agree and speak terms. Deadshot tries to make a better deal with Waller for extra benefits, but she swiftly shuts him down, saying that they're only getting this deal because they're considered expendable to her. Harley asks why her pudding isn't there. Waller says she can deal with crazy, but not that crazy. After the conversation, they meet the rest of the team, which consists of Captain Boomerang, Silver Swan, Shrike, Black Manta, Killer Frost, and Solomon Grundy. Every member gets a small interaction and a flashback of how they were captured, and the episode ends. Episode 2, Old Members. Waller explains that she brought together a team to help gather materials and weaponry to take down the Justice League. Deadshot asks why they can't just use a team to take down the League. Waller looks at Deadshot and chuckles. Waller then explains the mission. They are going to break into an ex-squad member's house to get the Scimitar, a magical weapon that they plan to use against Aquaman in the event he goes rogue. Waller explains that this will be a stealth mission, so she only sends out Deadshot, Shrike, Killer Frost, Silver Swan, and Captain Boomerang. She explains that Grundy and Harley are too much of a liability risk, and cuts out Black Manta just to lower the numbers on the team. He then reveals Rick Flag as the team's leader and Waller's associate. The team goes to the ex-member's house. They see it's big and surrounded by guards. It's basically a mansion. The team sneaks in. While sneaking in, Rick and Deadshot find pictures of the ex-member. It's Rustam. He now has a full family and is living a more peaceful life with his ill-found gangs. Rick gets mad and wonders why Waller did not tell him it was Rustam. The team sneaks to the location of the sword. It's being used as a living room centerpiece. Deadshot goes to grab it, but notices Rick heading off upstairs. Deadshot signals to Shrike to go stop him, and tells Waller about Rick. Waller tries to tell Rick to stop, but he just keeps going. Shrike tries to tackle Rick to stop him, but Rick dodges, causing a loud thud, alerting the house of their presence. Rustam quickly runs out of his room, with a sword in hand, just to see Rick and Shrike on the floor. Shrike and Rustam have a small battle where Rustam is the victor. Rustam picks up Rick and asks why Waller set the squad. Is she trying to kill him? Rick says no, but he is. After what happened in their last mission, Rustam throws down Rick. Rustam says, "What I did that day was to save you." Rick looks at Rustam and screams, "You killed her." Rick then pulls out a gun and rushes Rustam. Rustam swiftly disarms Rick and calls for security, while he goes downstairs to find the rest of the squad, who he quickly takes down except for Deadshot, who unleashes the flaming blade. Rustam says, "Put that down and leave." Deadshot looks at Rustam and says, "You know I can't do that." Rustam says, "Yeah." Deadshot and Rustam fight, and Deadshot is the victor. Rustam looks up at Deadshot, tells Deadshot to tell Rick that they were sent to, then boom. Rustam's head then explodes. Deadshot asks Waller what that was about, and why does he still have a bomb. Waller just focuses on the second question and says, "It's insurance, gotta keep you guys on a leash." The squad then recuperate and leave. Deadshot looks at Rick, thinking about telling him what Waller did, but keeps quiet knowing what she can do to him. Episode 3, Wingding. Waller explains that she doesn't have a weakness for Wonder Woman on file, but heard from one of her rogues, Dr. Psycho, that Blockbuster of Bloodhaven recently got a file with a list of Wonder Woman's weaknesses from Lex Luthor. So she sends Harley, Deadshot, Shrike, Killer, Frost, Manta, and Grundy on the mission. Rick is cut, so if a hero catches them, they won't see a military member working with a bunch of villains. And she explains that this will be a more point-and-shoot mission than a stealth mission, and not to pull any punches. The team goes to Blockbuster's building and begin to take down his men. Eventually, they reach his room, where he's waiting there. Blockbuster immediately goes for a punch to take down Grundy. The others begin to surround Blockbuster, but he chuckles and snaps, revealing the Trigger twins behind his desk, who begin to shoot, managing to get a headshot on Killer Frost. Then Deadshot quickly fires back, killing the Trigger twins. Blockbuster slams the ground, causing a shockwave effect, knocking everyone down. He then uses the opportunity to run away. Deadshot looks at Blockbuster's computer and finds the file. The team tries to leave, but then gets stopped by Nightwing. Takes down most of them except Manta and Shrike, who manage to overpower Nightwing. Shrike thinks about killing Nightwing, but Waller stops him. explaining that the Bat family aren't enough of a threat, and killing one of them will only bring attention from the League. The team returns, giving the information to Waller. Episode 4, Fear is a Liar. Waller exclaims that they need Scarecrow's fear toxin, and that they'll be traveling to Gotham, invading Jonathan Crane's lab to steal some. Since the threat level is low, she'll be sending Deadshot, Harley, Black Manta, Captain Boomerang, and Grundy, in case they need a distraction. Once there, Deadshot, Harley, and Black Manta go to attack Scarecrow. Scarecrow sprays his fear gas, Deadshot and Harley get hit with the toxin. Black Manta's suit protects him, and Black Manta swiftly takes down Scarecrow. He gets some of the toxin and tries to get Deadshot and Harley out of there, but gets told by Boomerang, who's outside keeping watch, that Batman, Batgirl, and a boy wonder, Damian Wayne, are out there. Black Manta says he can take them. Waller calls him off, saying she doesn't need the Batman investigating the squad. She just says to hide there, and asks Grundy to make a diversion. Grundy runs to the street and starts slamming random cars. The Bat family goes to attack him. Black Manta tries to leave with Deadshot and Harley, but they begin to scream. We see their point of view, and Harley is seeing Joker torturing her, and Deadshot is seeing his daughter shoot him. He fears that she will make the same mistakes as him. Batman hears the screams and asks Batgirl and Robin if they could handle Grundy. They nod, and Batman goes to check the screams. Batman finds Deadshot, Harley, and Manta. Manta fights Batman and loses. Meanwhile, Batgirl and Robin take down Grundy, and Batman begins questioning the villains. Waller threatens them not to say anything. Boomerang says he has a plan, but he needs them to buy time. Boomerang gets in the car and leaves. Episode 5, The Rogues. Captain Boomerang goes to Central City and meets up with the Rogues. He asks Captain Cold, since he owes him one, for a favor. Captain Cold creates a plan to outsmart Batman and to get the squad out of his hands. He gets Heatwave, Weather Wizard, and Mirror Master to join him. Together, they go to Gotham. Mirror Master and Weather Wizard separate Batgirl and Robin from Batman, and Captain Cold manages to sneak up on Batman and freeze him. Batgirl and Robin get defeated by Mirror Master and Weather Wizard. The villains celebrate until Waller chimes in with "Capture them." Then suddenly the squad fights the Rogues. Boomerang swiftly takes down Captain Cold. Black Manta takes down Heatwave. Mirror Master and Weather Wizard decide it's best to flee. They take Snart and Rory in. Snart curses out Boomerang for betraying him like this. Episode 6, Assassins. Rick Flag and the entire squad are sitting around in an Argus facility, waiting for their next mission, when suddenly they hear a loud explosion. An alarm turns on. Waller announces that they're being attacked, and that the squad needs to take down the threat. The characters begin to walk out the facility and start attacking the League of Assassin members. Eventually, they reach Deathstroke. Deathstroke tells Shrike that they hacked into the system and disabled his bomb. Hearing this, Waller tries to blow up Shrike, but it doesn't work. She yells at the squad to kill them. Deadshot fires a couple shots at Shrike. Deathstroke pushes Shrike out the way and cuts Deathstroke's gun. The squad begins to fight the assassins. Eventually, Manta manages to kill Shrike, but then Deathstroke kills Manta. After this, Harley tries to hit Deathstroke with her bat, but Deathstroke grabs it and says, "We're even. Let's keep it at that," and leaves. Episode 7, Ned. The episode starts with a classic Lex vs. Superman fight. Lex gets Superman into a trap and blasts him with a laser. But what was left was a robotic skeletal body lying on the floor. Lex gets perplexed by this and takes it to LexCorp for research. Video footage of Lex taking in the skeletal body has been leaked to Waller, so she calls the squad to go get it. This time, she sends Rick Flag to lead, Captain Cold, Deadshot, and Silver Swan and Grundy to stay aside in case they need to get into a fight. Rick, Snart, and Floyd sneak their way into LexCorp, find a facility area where they're holding the skeletal body, and try to sneak their way out, but they keep getting caught by Mercy Grave. The three of them get into a fist fight with Mercy Grave. After a close battle, they knock out Mercy and quickly try to go outside into their truck. Lex stops them. He then presses a button and a robot awakens, and it swiftly takes down Rick, Snart, and Floyd. Out comes Grundy and Silver Swan. It quickly takes out Grundy and gets into an air battle with Silver Swan. When it knocks out Silver Swan, Lex looks at it and says, "Kill them." Before it can, though, Supergirl flies in and shuts it down. Then she says, "That's mine, Lex." Rick stands up and says he demands an explanation. Supergirl explains the robot's name is Ned. It was built by Superman to take over in the event of him being gone. Lex chimes in and says, "Wait, gone? What do you mean gone?" Supergirl looks at Lex and says, "I haven't seen him in weeks, and I don't know where he is." This surprises everyone. Silver Swan gets up and screams at Supergirl, stunning her. Deadshot uses the opportunity to shoot her with a kryptonite bullet. Then a team quickly grabs Ned, puts him into the truck, and leaves. When they get back, Waller has a private talk with Rick about the location of Superman. She believes they're screwed as recently there's been no sign of Wonder Woman, Flash, or Green Lantern. Episode 8, King of Khandaq. Waller tells the team of the existence of a magical artifact that unleashes a bright yellow light that is currently being held at Khandaq. Deadshot says, wouldn't a bright yellow laser, power up the old Boy Scout? Waller says it's meant for the lantern. Captain Cold chimes in saying, I'm sorry, but do you really expect us to go to Khandaq? Do you know what your king does to prisoners? Waller says she's well aware and that's why they're being sent. She can't send American soldiers as that would be a proclamation of war. Heatwave says, this is crazy, we're going to die. Waller looks down at Rory and smirks, saying, just don't get caught. The entire team of Deadshot, Harley, Captain Boomerang, Heatwave, Captain Cold, Silver Swan, and Grundy get sent. After a couple-hour flight, they get to Khandaq. They get to a museum where the artifact is being held. They have a little stealth mission, then get the artifact. Before they can leave, they get stopped by the sound of thunder. Captain Boomerang lets out a quiet, oh fuck. The team hears a loud thud, and next second sees the museum door flying towards them. Grundy catches it, saying, Grundy fight, Lightning Man, others run. Everyone quickly takes the opportunity to run away. Black Adam breaks the door onto Grundy, and they have a short fight ending with Black Adam ripping Grundy's arms off and then shoving his arm through him. The team gets to the plane and begins to fly away. They think they're free, but see Black Adam flying towards them. Waller says, you're not gonna outspeed him. Use the artifact. Deadshot nods and uses the artifact on Black Adam. This temporarily disables Black Adam, but he gets back up, and once again begins flying towards him. Deadshot tries to use it again, but it needs a minute to charge. Waller screams in Silver Swan's ear to go out there to stop Black Adam. Silver Swan says, if I do that, he'll kill me. Waller says, if you don't do that, I'll kill you. Silver Swan begins to breathe heavily and says, fuck, before she jumps out and flies towards Black Adam. She gets a punch in before he grabs her arms. She begins to scream into his ear, disabling Black Adam for a second, before he can get stabilized and kill her. This gives the team enough time to get the plane cloaked and hidden from Black Adam's view. The team gets to the base. Deadshot is terrified at the lose-lose situation Silver Swan was forced to be in. Episode 9, Brainiac's Justice League Part 1. Batman is on a mission with Aquaman, where they're looking for King Shark. Suddenly, they get attacked by Superman and Wonder Woman with green eyes. Aquaman fights them to give Batman time to get away. Batman goes to investigate the situation of Nightwing. He figures out that they're under the control of Brainiac, and he figures out where they're hiding. Together, they sneak into an Argus facility to talk with Waller. Batman reveals that he knows about the Suicide Squad, and he knows about them getting weapons to use against the Justice League. Waller asks how he knew that. Batman just says that you can control what they say, but you can't control what they write. Then he says he needs their help. Brainiac got control of the League, and those weapons could be a real help. Batman and Waller come to an agreement to help each other in this situation. Episode 10, Brainiac's Justice League Part 2. Batman, Nightwing, Rig Flag, Deadshot, Harley, Captain Boomerang, Captain Cold, Heatwave, and Ned get onto a plane together and begin flying to the location of the mind-controlled Justice League. Batman has the size Scimitar and Deadshot has the bright light artifact. Batman and Deadshot begin talking. Deadshot says he wants out this life, he wants to go see his daughter. He explains he grew up without a dad and that he doesn't want his daughter to turn out like him. Batman promises that after this is over, he'll make a deal with Waller to get them out early. He must promise to quit being a hitman. Deadshot agrees. They land on a metal artificial island. They hide behind some trees and see the Justice League talking to a hologram of Brainiac. Superman stops and says, I hear something. He then uses his X-ray vision and notices everyone. Ned flies into Superman to get him out the way. Batman screams, now! Deadshot uses the artifact to shoot a laser down on the rest of the League. Flash runs out, but Captain Cold shoots the floor to make Flash slip. Captain Cold uses the opportunity to freeze Flash. Once the blast is done, Wonder Woman still stands strong, with Jon Stewart and Aquaman right behind her, heavily weakened. Batman quickly hits Aquaman with the size Scimitar to take him down, and Nightwing throws a wingding at Stewart, knocking him out. Meanwhile, Superman takes down Ned and flies to group up with Wonder Woman. Deadshot says, now this is the hard part. Batman smirks and throws gas kryptonite at Superman. Wonder Woman rushes towards the team and takes down Harley, Boomerang, and Rick. Heatwave gets mad and puts his gun to max, and begins shooting Wonder Woman, screaming, just die! Wonder Woman fights through the pain and stabs Heatwave. Captain Cold screams, Rory! And runs towards Wonder Woman. He slides and shoots her legs. freezing her in place. Batman sneaks up behind her and puts a mask on her that puts her to sleep. Nightwing tries to rush Superman while he was weakened, but he quickly recuperates and grabs Nightwing, then shoots a laser through him. Batman screams, "Clark, no!" then falls to his knees, dropping a sharp piece of kryptonite. The rest of the team back up, none of them being strong enough to deal with Superman. Superman flies to Deadshot and grabs him. Deadshot screams, "No, no, come on, you don't kill. I'm going to see my daughter. You don't kill." Superman begins to charge up his laser. Meanwhile, Captain Boomerang grabs the sharp piece of kryptonite. Batman says, "Don't." Captain Boomerang says, "Don't worry, mate. Don't blame me. You'll still be their hero." Then he begins to sneak up on Superman. Meanwhile, Superman lasers Deadshot while Deadshot is screaming. Captain Boomerang then stabs Superman in the neck, taking him down. The team lays down to think about everything that just occurred. The ending is a montage of Captain Cold leaving the squad, being able to make a good deal with Waller. Captain Boomerang being treated as one of the best villains for being able to kill Superman. Deadshot's daughter at the shooting range. Lex Luthor plotting revenge against Captain Boomerang. Rick Flag at June Moon's grave. And Bruce, Barbara, Damian, and Starfire at Dick Grayson's funeral. Okay, so that's it. That's the story. I plan to create more videos in this style, so comment your thoughts and remember to like and subscribe.